I have been a member here at Veritas for a little over a year now and helped kick off the movement of DMI. The heart of DMI is that it would be a movement inside of the Veritas body to come together to go out and love the city of Columbus through prayer and gospel proclamation.
I think DMI had given me a bit of courage to even just kind of try and find a way in to talk about the gospel. And I was talking to this coworker. It was honestly me just talking about evangelizing with my church. And I felt like I was not doing a good job. I didn't realize the Lord was already doing work in this person's life. It's like once the conversation started, she ran with it. It's really cool now because in November, she actually did give her life to the Lord, and that was just a very joyous moment and day. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that experience.
So we ended up going to this bus station and just started talking to this man that was standing there. And we're just asking him questions about if he knew Jesus and things like that. And this girl was standing next to him. And she was standing there kind of listening. And I honestly thought that she was like getting ready to walk away because she didn't want to hear us talk about it. And then we offered to pray for this man, and the girl actually jumped in and asked if she could also pray with us for him. So I think that was a moment where like I kind of had these thoughts running through my head of like, oh my gosh, okay, like she's probably thinking we're so weird. But then she actually came in to pray with us and got her number before she jumped on the bus, and she came to Veritas. And I think just seeing the way that the Lord completely like settled my fear in that, and how he really like came in and kind of shows up in those ways when you're not expecting it.
It really created an opportunity for me to be bold in my workplace and share the gospel with folks that I see on a regular basis. You know, when we're standing by the water cooler or standing by the Keurig and making our cups of coffee in the morning, we're asking each other like, hey, what did you do this weekend? How was your weekend? And for me to be bold and say, I went around and I talked to strangers and shared the gospel, and then for people to be like, what's that? Like, just to see like God's work there, it's just been really, really cool. And just to be used as an instrument for that, I get giddy. Like it's such a cool experience.
We met this guy at Goodell Park, and we started, sharing the gospel with him, asking. He seemed pretty reserved, and I soon found out that he was at school at Ohio State, and so we ended up sharing the gospel with him, and we got to pray for him. And 2 weeks later, he shows up to my community group. He ended up being invited from his classmates that was already in our group to our group, and so we plant seeds, we water, and God gives the growth. And that just felt like such a very tangible testimony of getting to see that in real life. He uses me but doesn't need me. There's other believers that God is using to bring his children home.
I think one of the things that stood out to me the most from DMI was actually not during one of the days that we went out after church on Sunday, but rather on the softball field. I was playing with our young adult ministry team and was walking away to leave. And this guy stopped me and said, hey, would you be interested in playing, another doubleheader? And I was excited, and so I said yes. And I was out there on the field, and it was late, and I was like, why did I say yes? But I was like, okay, Lord, please help me to make the most of this opportunity to be around these strangers and to speak the truth in love. God, just give me an opportunity to do that. So as we wrapped up the second game, I was talking to this guy, and I said, hey, I was here playing with my church. You should come. He ended up coming to church the following Sunday, and got to meet up with him and kind of see how he was doing. And that eventually led to us getting coffee. And through that coffee conversation, the Lord gave me the opportunity to share the gospel with him. I was not expecting that at all, but it just really showed me that, the gospel should always be on our lips. And it wasn't as intimidating as I thought, just to speak the name of Jesus to a stranger. I think that really broke down a wall for me of kind of just fear and anxiety about striking up conversation with a stranger. And so that was kind of the first moment in DMI where I was like, okay, we should always be sharing the gospel, and you can, even on the softball field.
Would I do it again? Yes. I would do it again. Should you do it? Absolutely. We look at the Great Commission, and the Great Commission's not a suggestion. No, it's a command. And so, we're all called to share the gospel. And so because of that, it's like, we should feel empowered that God's not going to give us a command that he himself isn't going to prepare us for and give us what we need.
I kind of self-proclaimed myself as the Jonah of the group, where I didn't really want to do it and just was doing it because I felt like the Lord wanted me to. I feel like the Lord revealed to me that this work is for me too, and it's been really cool to see how I don't know a lot of apologetics, or I don't know everything about the Bible, or there's more people that are knowledgeable than me. I think even amidst that, I have really been encouraged that God had shown me I don't have to know everything. This is for me too. Now I feel like I'm on the complete other side of the spectrum where I'm bought in, or I want to do this again, or some other version of it.
One of the most encouraging things about being in DMI was being a part of a team that is committed to living missionally and to sharing the gospel makes all the difference. As I learned and as we shared together as a team, we got to share our fears and anxieties about going out and talking to strangers, and we got to pray about that together.
I think being able to have a group that was so on fire for this mission and be able to constantly go back to the word and what it says and be built up in that way, and challenged in different ways to speak with people on the street and different ways that we can kind of spark conversation.
It just made me see the value of church community and why that's so important to advancing the gospel.
So it was just so encouraging for me to see this movement that I've been praying for just exceed my expectations and exceed what I thought that was possible. So just a testament of the Lord's goodness and his kindness, and really his love for the city and his desire for the lost to be found.